Friends, it's time for my second episode of my knitting and arty podcast, which is really exciting because I really enjoyed creating the other one. So I hope that you will enjoy watching and listening to my creative chats and rambles about hobbies and things like that, because that's what this is going to be about, sharing my passion for creativity in different forms and not just always about my job and things like that. It's so nice to have a hobby, or a few. So, this is a knitting and arty podcast, but I have a sewing machine all of a sudden. It's my birthday month this month in February, and I decided to treat myself to a sewing machine. So this beautiful sewing machine, it's light blue and it's from Brother, and it's like vintage inspired, and it's beautiful. And I haven't used a sewing machine since I was little with my mom. She did quite a lot of sewing when I was little. She loved doing quilts, and she made like doll clothes for my American Girl doll. I had Kirsten. Yeah, it was just really exciting to be able to sew something, because the reason why I got it is because I trying to fix things that I have at home, and I'm also a pattern designer, and I wanted to order some of my fabric I wanted to order fabric with my designs on it so that I could make some tablecloths. And I did that last year. And I don't have a sewing machine, or I didn't have then, so I brought it to my local, what are they called? It's like a cobbler. They do shoes and they sew things, whatever it's called. And not a seamstress, because that's a female, but anyways, they're dudes. Anyways, you get what I mean? Tailor, maybe? My local tailor. And he sewed it up, and I didn't ask what the price was going to be to sew up a couple of napkins and 2 tablecloths, because I thought that was going to be really cheap. But when I got there and I picked them up, it cost me over $80, like 800 kronor. I was like, what? So I was like, that's almost the price of a sewing machine. So next time I want to sew something, I'm just going to buy a machine. And now I have so many projects that I can finish at home, like all the curtains in my house have been needed to hem, and there's things that I've been wanting to fix for ages. I can show you some stuff, obviously. So let me just move this beautiful machine out of the way, even though she is stunning. I made a little teacup pin cushion with an old teacup that's starting to get a little like cracked underneath. So cute. I fixed my Svensk 10. If you know pattern design and Swedish designers, this is very iconic. There's a beautiful store called Svensk 10, and the main designer for many years was Josef Frank, and he's not originally from Sweden, but his designs for Svensk 10 are synonymous with Swedish design, and they're just so beautiful. And I bought this bag a long time ago, maybe 15 years ago, but the whole top piece, like the fabric had just like started to rip and fray, so I cut off the whole top and I hemmed it together again, and I made little tabs to hook the hooks onto again. Pretty like pleased with myself, and there's like a pocket lining and everything. I did a very simple job, but I was able to do that, and now I can use this beautiful bag again, because before, I was all frayed. And then the things that I'm really excited about, again, I am a surface designer. I've been doing this for many, many years, since 2016, I think I discovered, or 2015, I discovered surface design and making patterns that I didn't have to just do illustrations. So I think it was 2018, I came up with a fabric collection with this company in the US called Paintbrush Studio Fabrics, and they sent me tons of fabric for free. Like, they sent the huge, whatever those things are called, I don't know. They've sent me the full collection on those, the quilted, what are they called? I don't know what they're called, but like meters and meters of my work. And I sold those off many years ago because I am not a sewist and I didn't even have a sewing machine. Like, what am I going to do with that? But I kept, like, I think I had with each one about a meter. So I had that. So that was perfect. So I've just had like these chunks of fabric for my full collection, which was called Cockatoos, Peaches, and Pears. And I finally got to do some stuff with it. And I'm really proud of this collection, even though it's a kind of a style that I don't do anymore. But it was really nice. So I made myself a little computer bag, like laptop case, or for my iPad as well. And it goes in here, and there's little pockets. I followed patterns and tutorials, video tutorials by the darling Rosie Caldwell, who's here on YouTube. And I highly suggest her patterns for this was actually called a book cover. So you can use this obviously for a really big sketchbook. That'd be cool. Yeah, does my sketchbook fit in there? I assume. Here's my current huge A4 sketchbook. Yeah, it fits like exactly like a glove. That's cool. So I can bring that along with me. I also, in the same book cover, I made a little case for my e-reader. So I did change the size. This was the smallest size, I think, but I made it even shorter to fit the e-reader size. And this one also has a pocket for a little pencil and my little notebook where I write big words that I want to remember to use more often, like derisive and contentious and facetious. That's a good word. All right, so those were little projects that I sewed up immediately, and I'm still not 100% besties with my new machine, and I don't look too closely at my stitches or anything like that, but I still made it, and I'm so proud of myself, I guess. And the process is just so much more exciting and interesting to me to have something handmade. It's becoming more and more interesting and important to me rather than buying something that's perfectly pristine, that's been mass produced. Like, I'm the only person who has this. And that is really exciting to me. So I have those two things, and I obviously want to create all the sizes. There's like 5 sizes in the pattern when you buy it. They're very affordable as well. Just a few pounds, like 5 to 8 pounds. And then, even more exciting, we'll get into knitting soon. I made project bags. This was another reason why I wanted to buy a sewing machine, because yeah, besides the whole, like, I want to make more tablecloths and things, and I don't want to pay $80 to get them hemmed at my local tailor, I wanted to buy a beautiful quilted project bags, and I was looking on Etsy, and they cost like $40 or $50 for a quilted beautiful bag like this. And like, you know, the whole girl math thing, it would make more sense to buy a sewing machine and sew my own. Even though, of course, it costs way more than $50. And then even though I had the fabric since a long time, it's just been sitting in a box. I had to buy thread and the wadding and things like that. But again, such a lovely project, and it was easy for a beginner sewist to create. And again, like, don't look closely at some of these seams and things like that, but it's a project bag and it looks lovely, and I did quilting on it for the first time. I've never done quilting before, and I did little like matching tabs, and there's even inner pockets. That's difficult to see possibly, but inside there's like a pockets that are sewn into the sides, so you can put like your little scissors or another pair of needles or something, and it just feels so professional. And I've been carrying this around with me all the time now with my little on-the-go project. Since I have it right here, this is my on-the-go project at the moment. I'm creating another one of those triangle scarves that I shared with you last month. That was rust color. So it's by Indiblomst, and it's the Vibes scarf. And my daughter, she wanted one in this beautiful rainbow sock yarn by from Järbo Raggi. It's a Swedish brand. So that's what she wanted. So I'm working on that, and it's just such an easy pattern, and it's so easy to remember. So once you like understand the repeat, it's a 10/12 row repeat. It's just really easy to remember. It sounds like a 12 row repeat, but it's only 3 of the rows are special, and the other ones are just garter stitch. So other than that, yeah. So you just keep going. And I have one of my little stitch markers that Tilly, my daughter, drew to show which is the right side and the wrong side, just to help me with the counting. So yeah, I feel I'm just like I've opened up another source of creativity, and that's sewing. And I of course want to make more and more of these bags, and this feels like such a nice gift as well. My kids both want one, of course. Yeah, so that's just incredibly exciting to me. I can share the big one with you. This one's such a good size, and I have tons of stuff in here already. I can show you. So let's see. One of my finished objects for the month is my first ever sock. So here's just like a classic, in Swedish you say ragsocka. Just a 2x2 ribbed sock with a white tip toe. This is also, no, not also. This is yarn by Drops. It's the Fiesta DK weight. So it's a DK weight thick, nice sock. And I used a Kutovakika pattern that's from her book, her first book. What's that one called? What's her book called? Whatever the first book is called. Sorry, Kika, I don't remember what it's called. But anyways, so that was fun. But it's the one with the hearts on the cuff, and then the cuff's supposed to be way longer and like fold down, and then you're supposed to embroider a heart on it. But I reduced the size of the cuff, and it still didn't last to make a full sock with one ball of yarn, which slightly annoying. Like, I feel like I want to be able to knit a full sock, and I don't have incredibly large feet, but I had to change the yarn to do the toe. So interesting. But so yeah, so now I have to do the second one, but that's difficult because I of course moved on to another project on those needles. Yeah, so now I'm kind of going out of order just because I want to go through what's in this. Is that fine, or do you need to have this all like in order? Maybe let's do it in order. Let's do finished objects so we can be a proper like podcaster person. All right, so I wanted to show you this sweater that was a finished object, but it's not, unfortunately. My Shine cardigan by November Knits. It's so close because I've done both of the sleeves. I've weaved in all the ends. I did the bind off at the edge, but I haven't done the button bands. So that's the only thing that I need to do on that. And then I'm for sure will show that to you next month. But I love how oversized and fluffy and airy it is. It's gonna be such a lovely dream. In all honesty, I have been wearing it already now because it is so fluffy and it's pretty much finished. It just needs that button band because it's annoying that it rolls in, you know. So there's that. I'll show you that when it's finally finished, and I'll try it on and all that. I created this little scarf with that ball of Angora that I showed you that I had bought secondhand. This is from Not Perfect Knits, and it's their Nova scarf. I discovered it on Pinterest when I was looking up Sophie scarf alternatives. And it has the loveliest pattern with a scalloped edge and some eyelet holes. Can you see those little holes pattern? And it was also very easy to do the pattern and remember it. I like that, especially this is like a perfect on the go project. I love bringing it when I'm going into town or whatever, you know, or when you're just waiting on something. So this is such a lovely little scarf, and it used up the ball of Angora, 25 grams from Mondial, and in the pattern it said to use like Cardiff cashmere, which is also 25 grams, and it seriously used up the entire ball, and there was like a couple centimeters left when I was binding off. It was perfect. So I mean, like, the person who wrote that, I love that, because it's so incredibly annoying if you're like creating a scarf and then you come and there's like a few centimeters left, and you oh, it's so hairy. I got a little fuzz on my lip. All right. It's annoying if you'd have to start a new ball when you just have a few centimeters left, or if you finish a scarf and then you have like that weird amount of yarn left, you know. Anyways, so it's just a lovely, another little mini scarf kind of thing. I'm really enjoying the look and feel of these little scarves. I like, it's lovely now in the winter. It's still freezing cold. We've had snow since New Year. It's been white for 2 months straight, which has been beautiful. It's also been very, very icy, which you would have seen in all the clips at the beginning of the video. It's been so icy that the lake where we live, it's a huge lake, but it has been frozen, deeply frozen for weeks. So last weekend, somebody in town had the great idea of taking a little mini, not a tractor, a four-wheeler, and plowed the ice and made like a strip around the ice so you could ice skate around, because the ice was supposedly like 30 centimeters thick, or 30 or 40, so it was definitely safe. Yeah, and made like a little hockey playing area. So it was gorgeous that day. It was so sunny, and it was so fun to see how all of my little village come together. Everybody was coming down and like walking around on the ice, or ice skating, or playing a little game of hockey. Just really delightful. Anyway, so that's one of my little whips. Not whips, this is a finished object. And then I just have other small things because I've been sewing so much this month. So I finished a Terrazzo hat for my son. He really liked mine, but he wanted his own version. And he also chose the Järbo, here you are, Raggi sock yarn. My kids are really drawn to those kinds of yarns because of the different colors. So I allowed them to choose a few colors that they enjoyed. And Stike liked blue and red, and he wanted a blue and red version. So I did the junior size for him as well, but I went down a needle size. I went down to 3.25 millimeters to do the ribbing, because I thought my hat it was very loose, and I did the junior size as well. This is also a different yarn. It's much thicker, but still, I went down, and I'm really happy with how it looks. It's a lot more bouncy, put together. Yeah, he also requested it to be a little bit longer because mine stops right here and doesn't cover the earlobe. It's quite cold, so I made his a little bit longer, a couple centimeters longer than mine as well. So I really like the look of this hat. It snugly fits on the top of his head beautifully. It just looks more put together than a traditional beanie. It looks more like a hat, which I like. And then I also made this little sweater, a little mini sweater. The Terrazzo hat is Petite knit, by the way, but I just like assume everybody knows that. I will link everything below. What the heck? I don't know what that is. It keeps doing it. I don't know what keeps snapping in my home. It's just really strange. Anyway, I made a tiny sweater for my daughter's mouse. I also made one for my son's panda bear. And this was a really fun, also tiny little fiddly project with DPNs. Not my favorite tool because it feels like you're Edward Scissorhands when you're like have so many needles going at the same time. But it was fun. It's really quick. Like I did this in one sitting. And I can link that below because I don't remember who the pattern was from. But it was a free pattern on Ravelry. Very cute. Yeah. It's just so much fun to create something in like an hour or so that just brings such incredible joy to my children. Yeah. This little mouse actually my grandmother gave me when I was little. So it's been around for a while. So cute. All right, so those are all my finished objects. I'm going to take this off because it's actually quite warm. So now I can move on to my works in progress, and I have that rainbow scarf, which I showed you, which is going to be for my daughter because she really liked my scarf. And then I'm working on my first color work project, which is really exciting. So I think because I'm a new knitter, I started at the end of last year. It's like I can't just finish one project and move to the next. I have to like try new things constantly because it's so exciting and new. So because even though I should have probably done that second sock before moving on to this project, like I'm just so eager. So I am doing the Kitten Catch Mittens by Florence Miller, and they are just so cute. I have printed out the pattern. I inverted the pattern and printed it out, but I've been using the pattern on my iPad instead so I can follow the lines and cross out where I am easier than on paper. But anyways, it's such a lovely experience to do color work. And that was something that I was like, oh, it's going to be too hard. I won't be able to do it, that kind of attitude. But it is more fiddly, and it does take a while to understand how to hold the two yarns. I've been holding them both on my left hand like I normally knit continental, and that's been working out for me. I was trying at one point trying to do like the English style for one of the colors, but no thank you. Yeah, so very excited for these, and you can start to see like there's a little like flower coming to life, and so far I think I've not messed it up. The Latvian braids, they seemed like they were going to be really difficult, but actually they were not that bad. It was just a little fiddly, like everything with knitting. I can tell you about the yarn I'm using. I'm using Rauma Garn Finull, so it's nice. It's nice, and I'm using a rust color and a dusty pink color. The colors just on the packaging just have numbers, so it's numbers 4571 and 0425 if you are interested. They're very nice colors, and I quite like them together. There's enough contrast between the pink and the rust, so you can definitely see it. And I've just been really interested in this rust color, and I love matching with the pink. I think it looks so good, and it's gonna look great with my handbag that is a like burgundy brown color. And it will look good with my rust colored scarf that I created, even though it's a different yarn that I used for that. Just really proud of myself for trying something new and actually doing it. And it is actually faster than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a really slow process of doing this, but it's a good brain gym project to do, I feel, because yeah, trying to follow the charts and be like 1 pink, 2 rust, because so far the pattern isn't super intuitive. It's not like 2 rust, 2 pink, 2 rust, 2 pink. That's easy to just like do a whole row. I have to constantly look at the pattern. It's 1 pink, 4 rust, 2 pink, and then I think you get it. So that's my second work in progress, besides my cardigan, which I really just need to sit down and do that. But I've never done a button band, so that's why it's like holding me back, because I have to like concentrate and do that. So yeah, that's my work in progress. And then I want to show you a couple of acquisitions. Again, it is my birthday month, so I treated myself to some yarns that were a little bit higher than my usual price range, which is fun to treat yourself. I want to just show you the inside of this big one because it's easier to see. So this one I did the pockets in my pink color, so then you really see how that works. So you can put in like some needles or your pattern or something like that. Oh, I just love it so much. So satisfying also to do that, to pull the strings. Oh, I love it. All right, so I bought 3 balls of this really soft, amazing Fonty Moustache in this beautiful light ash blue color that I think suits me very well. And this color is 420. I don't know if it has a color name. So soft. It is 30% super kid mohair, 20% silk, and 50% merino. So it's going to be really soft and luxurious. And I'm going to make a little simple like tank vest top from Kutovakika. At the moment I can't think of what that one's called, but it's in the product photos. It's a pink color. It's just like a simple top, and I think that would be nice because now I think I'm so concentrated on knitting only being accessories like mittens and scarves or cardigans or sweaters. So I want to test out doing something that's like an everyday item, like a shirt, a top. And then I bought this gorgeous sock yarn from the Finnish brand Freja Yarn, and it's a merino sock mix. It's merino, 75% merino and 25% nylon. This color is Hallon caramel cake, so raspberry caramel cake, and it's written in Finnish as well. Oh, Finnish, I think, is such a lovely language. It's so different to Swedish, obviously. Maybe not obviously to you, but it's just, I don't even want to attempt because it's so difficult. Here's the Finnish name, which is gorgeous. Käsin varjätti Suomessa. Oh. Anyways, this is going to be so much fun to do a pair of socks with. And I hope this is 100 grams, so I hope, and it's fingering weight, so I hope that it will actually make me 2 pairs of socks. That would be great. I'm going to try doing the vanilla socks by the Crazy Sock Lady. All right, so those are my acquisitions for this month. I did buy, like this as well, these ones, and I bought some other yarn as well, but I'll show you that when I start working on those projects. All right. So that's all of that. I also want to share with you some books that I have been getting from the library that have been really inspiring to me, because I'm full on into this knitting world and I don't want to stop, and I'm starting to almost be slightly overwhelmed by my enthusiasm because I'm starting projects before I finish another one. But I'm trying to, I'm definitely not going to start another sweater until the current sweater I'm working on is finished. So, yeah, I got this gorgeous book, Mumindalens stickbok, which is so cute. I know that this one's available in English because I saw it online. So this is just 29 sock patterns inspired by the world of Moomin, and it's by the patterns are from Novita, which is, I think, a Finnish brand. Let me just show you. First of all, I'm inspired by the Moomin house. Moomin is a Finnish story. Do you guys know Moomin? I hope so. It's by the author and illustrator Tove Jansson, and she's one of the Swedish speaking Finns that are in Finland. So in Sweden, because it's all in Swedish, it was of course very easy for us to consume Moomin characters and all the books, and they're just so delightful, and I want to reread them as an adult. Anyways, I of course want to knit these socks because super cute, but I want to turn, I have a thermos for my tea, and I really want to knit just like the tube, that top part for my thermos. I think that would be so cute. So that's in my brain. I need to buy the yarn for that because I don't have any red or light blue like this. So that is going to be so cute to knit, and I think the circumference of my thermos and like the leg of a sock should be fine. I'll have to test that out. My boyfriend thinks that you absolutely have to knit underneath as well, otherwise it's just gonna fall off. Do you agree with him? Do I have to like knit like decreases underneath and like create a bottom? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Let me show you some other designs from this gorgeous book. Like all of them are so cute. Like these ones are really sweet, like a really short sock. Let's see. I'm not 100% familiar with all of the characters. I really like these ones. And they have like a little embroidery, hearts, not hearts, those are flowers, and then a little bow on the neck of this character. Which character is this? Prima Donnan. Those socks are really sweet. I love that they're white on the top and then they go into black, and that would be gorgeous in any other color that has a good high contrast. What else I really liked? They're like Moomin Christmas socks. How nice is that? They're really tall. These are all with the Novita Moomin collection. I don't know if that's still available. Yeah, and I really like these ones as well that have like butterflies and flowers. They don't really have any Moomin on them, but they're still very beautiful. So I love that. So definitely gonna do that Moomin house for my thermos. And then I discovered this lady who's Swedish, I believe, Lotta Lundin. And she has some really fun pattern books for, here's one is Sticka Nytt. Yeah, knit new things. And then Sticka Sköna Sockor. Knit comfy socks. So again, I really like the idea of socks because it's a smaller project. It's a little bit fiddly. Now that I've learned Magic Loop, I love that way better than DPNs. And it feels like, I feel like my closet, I can't do 10 sweaters a year. That would be ridiculous. I just want to make maybe 1 or 2 sweaters or cardigans a year at most to start switching out my conventional sweaters and start having some handmade things only. But socks, I feel like if I make 10 socks a year, that'd be fine. Socks wear out quite a lot. So anyways, she has really fun patterns, and they're not just like florals and things. Like she has with text here, pride, love is love, or here with lemons is really fun, or let's see, be yourself with little fish is really fun. Like snow. Let's see, what's this? You win some, you lose some. Who is this? Mega Ace of Spades. I don't know. Some kind of here with slots. Slots? What did I say? Slots. Don't hurry. With some slots, and then on the underneath it says live slow and relax under the feet. So she has really fun designs. So definitely want to do one of these. I don't know, like the lemons are calling to me. Quite like the fish as well, like the fish bone And then she has this other book that has a mix of different things from socks to blankets and scarves. And she has a lot of designs that are double knitted, and I've never tried that. So that also becomes like a thing. After I've mastered color work, I need to try double knitting. And she has a nice little starting off project in here to do. And then the idea of the double knitted scarf sounds really nice. Where's that? But here, yeah, she has this paw print as her like starting off, trying to figure out how to do the double knitting. I'm sure it's not as hard. Like everything seems so daunting with knitting before you do it, and then you sit down and you watch a YouTube tutorial, and then you actually try it. It's not as hard as it seems. Where's the scarf that had squirrels on it? Here, mon ami. A squirrel scarf that's double knitted. I love that. And this is that beautiful rusty color, but imagine in the pink and rust that I'm loving. Gorgeous. I freaking love squirrels. These are the kinds of squirrels we have in Sweden, the red kind. Oh, little acorns. I mean, just so much fun. So that's really lovely. And then I also got this one from the library. This is Sticka I svensk ull. Right now, this one's only available in Swedish, and I'm pretty sure Lotta's are only in Swedish. But Lotta, I know she has a website where she sells some of her patterns. I have to double check if they're just in Swedish or if they're available in English. But I know that Anna, Anna Sjösvärd, she has a YouTube channel, and it's in English. Now it is. And she has a Ravelry store, so she has lots of other patterns that aren't available in this book. So you should check her out. But I just feel, now that I've started knitting and then understanding the Nordic tradition behind it, and I live here now, I am Swedish. I didn't grow up here, but still it just feels really like nostalgic already, like I want to make more classic Nordic designs to just get that essence of Sweden. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't, not like Swedish nationalism, but like my heritage, I guess, and celebrating that, and also using actually Swedish wool. Swedish wool isn't so famous as like Norwegian wool. It's I assume softer. When I've touched Swedish wool at the store, it's very scratchy and rustic, but it would be fun to do like a more rustic cardigan that wouldn't be like close to skin. I don't think I'm very sensitive. It's a beautiful book. This is her, Anna, holding her grandmother's hands who taught her to knit, and then the final page is her and her daughter. But yeah, it just has that beautiful like coffee table book look, and it just has just really nice classic designs from mittens and socks and sweaters and scarves. And let's see, what was really calling to me. There's one of the cardigans that I thought was really beautiful. Let's see. I really liked the Lily cardigan, I think. That one's on page 55. But they are also beautiful. Here, I thought this one was really beautiful. It has just regular stockinette sleeves, but the front and I believe the back as well has a nice like lacy cable-y pattern, and I think that would just be really delicate and beautiful. I also like that Anna, she crops all of her sweaters quite a lot because she wears skirts, and so she has very like nice like that hourglass figure, and it really accentuates that with these beautiful sweaters and cardis that are for dresses, so they're a little bit shorter. I really like that. So that is exciting. It's going to be exciting to try out some Swedish wool and try out that cardigan, possibly, maybe next fall, in the fall. I don't know. my knitting plans, like I get really excited and I add lots of things to like my mind queue. I haven't started writing anything on Ravelry because I think it would overwhelm me if I had it like officially somewhere, but now that it's just in my head, it's fine. All right, so those are some inspiration. That was all the sewing and all of the knitting things that I have going on. So now I just have to talk to you a little bit about my arty stuff that I have going on. And this month in my Fun Friday group on Patreon, we've been doing kids books focus, and I have been working on a kids book story for the past, I think, since 2020, but I think officially since 2022. So it's been a while. It's been 4 years that I've been stewing and working on this project and haven't really like gotten it going anywhere. But maybe now, because I feel like I had a slight breakthrough. Let me show you some stuff. So I have this character. Let me get him. I made him in paper mache. His name's Ottan, which means like 8. Åtta means 8 in Swedish, and it's an octopus. He has 8 legs, so his nickname's Ottan, like 80. Like, but 80, not like 8, the number. Like if you were trying to make 8 into a nickname, what would you call him? Anyways, this is Ottan, and he is a octopus, and he runs a pastry shop under the sea, obviously, and he loves socks. Yeah, and I've been working on him, and I have this sketchbook with all my ideas, and it's a slow process of creating my character and working on this story, but I want to make it good because I want to. That's important, obviously. And I've been working on this toned paper that I really like the look of. But just trying to figure out the look and feel of my under the sea scenes. Like, it's difficult to not make it too much, but not make it too little. And I think I was going a little bit too intense with the colors. So I toned it all down, and that's when I was like, it's starting to look like something. So this is my first example spread that I want to then send off with my manuscript for the book to Swedish publishers, hopefully soon. So here is my sketch that I did, and then I used a light board to get it onto this paper, which was difficult because it's so dark. But anyways, so I used like really thick marker in the background to get the main things that I needed. And I started just drawing in slight pastel-y colors, and then on top of that adding, and I want, because he's going to be hot pink, so I want him to be really vibrant. And I just really like how it's turning out. It's just turning out a lot more like how I envision. I just feel more proud of this project. I feel really weird showing this to you because it feels so my little secret project that I've been working on for such a long time. But I think if I start sharing it and sharing that I'm gonna send it in, like then I'll get the kick in the pants that I need to get that done and do that. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I haven't been working on much else than that, so I'm gonna keep that there. If you're interested in working on kids book theme with me, we're doing a 2-month long journey on that. So we've already done 1 month now in February, but you have time to catch up, and we're continuing on with the theme in next month in March. If you're interested in surface design, if you want to maybe one day make your own fabric collection like I did, you can check out my collection club. Next month we're doing folky florals inspired by like Swedish folk art, and that one's going to be fun. I found this amazing folk art floral book with wool embroidery from my local library that I'm sharing with you all. That's actually a free video if you want to go to my Patreon, sign up for the free version. That's going to be posted on the first week of March. Just a heads up about that. I show inspirational books every month for free on my Patreon for my free members. So yeah, I think that's the only self-promo stuff that I need to do for this video. You can always check out my classes on Skillshare. I published my 42nd class called Let's Illustrate Fancy Cakes in Procreate last week, and it's already doing really well. There's so many people who have published a project, 4 people already, and it's only been a few days, so you guys are loving the fancy cakes. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're inspired to start a new project, maybe sew something, maybe dust off your sewing machine and create one of these amazing project bags from Rosie Caldwell. They were really easy to follow the instructions. She does such an incredible job explaining everything and doing it step by step on her YouTube tutorial and in the written instructions. It was a joy to make. I can't wait to make more. All right, that's enough from me. Bye, friends.